So we can just see that in dealing with the coronavirus at level 1 and level 2, it is hardly any problem, because if we follow level 1 properly, then we have probably conquered 2/3 of the battle. And if we follow level 2 properly, I think the rest of the 1/3 is followed. And the battle is almost won. Before going into the details of level 3, let's go back to the basics and see what actually ultimately causes disease in man. There's a triangle. The disease factors, the host factors, his food, his sleep, his mental state, his lifestyle, his immune system, and third, the environmental factors. A complex interaction of all these factors ultimately determines whether disease takes place or not. Modern medicine has somehow stressed so strongly the microbiological cause of disease, the germ theory as they say it. When that is the stress, a medical student right from second MBBS training focus on microbiology. If germs are the cause of disease, that means he has to think of drugs which will kill those germs, and therefore a stress on pharmacology. But the host factors are hardly even talked about. Friends, treatment must take place and can take place at 5 levels. First, suppressive. Second, preventive. Third, curative. Fourth, promotive. And fifth, rehabilitative. To talk of promotive health, you have to know about the host factors. And for promotion of health, you need to know a lot of things about the immune system and about nutrition. Two most neglected subjects in medical education is nutrition and immunology. And here you are, person graduates out, he has only understanding of disease as terms of microbial cause. And therefore, we fear there is no drug. There is no drug for corona. There is no vaccine for corona. Even if there was a drug, it would come along with its side effects. And if there was a vaccine, the virus is smart enough to mutate. Therefore, the emphasis is definitely on prevention and promotion. If someone is unlucky and probably not ignorant but arrogant to not follow the guidelines given, then he has to succumb to level 3. At level 3, the virus is now rapidly going down his trachea and entering into the lungs. And by now there are millions and billions of viruses all over the lungs and cause acute injury to the lungs, damaging the small thin inner lining, making it difficult for oxygen to be absorbed into the body and for CO2 and other gases to be expelled out of the body. We're talking about pneumonias moving on to ARDS. At this stage, patient would have symptoms like not just cough from the throat, but deep cough, a sense of shortness of breath and difficulty in breathing. Would probably have increased level of fever, and X-ray and CT scan will start showing patches of pneumonia in both the lungs. This is a dangerous stage to go into, because at this stage, very rapidly the lungs can fail. People have gone to the hospital, and then a few hours the lungs have failed. As the lungs fail, the heart gets involved. As the heart gets involved, then there is something called as cardiorespiratory failure. The loss of blood pressure control, you go into septic shock. Septic shock, the kidneys start failing, multi-organ damage, and imminent death. So rather than putting the people into such massive fear, the stress is on the government, the WHO, the nurses working with corona patients, the Prime Minister, the vans moving around the municipality in our streets. Everybody is saying just one word. My friend told me for the morning that we don't really see God, but in the voices of all these people who are saying the same thing, I hear the sweet voice of God telling us that my blessings, my Karuna will come to you when you follow these instructions which you are receiving from so many of my agencies speaking to you loudly in so many wonderful ways. If we do not hear and turn a deaf ear to God, we must succumb to man-made corona, who is is there for made up of violence, hate, and will be a killer. So let's open our hearts, my dear friends, to promotive health, to preventive health, and follow guidelines. Even after the lockdown is over, masks, hand washing, controlled distancing, drinking hot water, doing some exercises, proper sleep, meditation, stress-free, as far as possible living, and let's promote health and prevent not just corona, but any other virus that may come in the future. Thank you.